Hey guys, this is Connor at Unison Audio with another chord progression analysis. Today we're going to be taking a look at 3 tracks from an artist named XXXTENTACION, Jocelyn Flores, Moonlight, and Sad. Let's get right into it. This first track is called Moonlight. So the chords for Moonlight, I'm taking from the glitchy, arpeggiated delay kind of thing going on. It was hard to hear the chords exactly, and this is my best interpretation, but we'll still get a lot out of it, and it's quite accurate, I think. First we have this guy, F major, root position. Then the bass note is actually walking up to G, and we're gonna play an E minor chord above it, so this is inverted. We're going down to this guy, which is A minor over C. So it's just an A minor chord with C in the bass, and then this chord up top stays and the bass note changes to its root note A. And it just goes like that actually. So F, E, this is A minor over C, and then back to A. So F, E over G, A minor over C, and A minor over A. So let's make sense of this. What's the key center? That's basically what I mean when I say let's make sense of it. Because once we know the key center, it gives context to all of the other chords, and then we have a way to think about it, regardless of the key that we're in. So when I play that A minor chord, it feels like home to me, which makes sense because then F would be its flat 6 chord. What do I mean by flat 6 chord? So we're in the key of A minor. I'm gonna walk up the scale and name the degrees, and then we'll see where F lands to make sense of it. So here's A, this is 1, this is 2, flat 3, 4, this is 5, this is flat 6, and this is that note F. So in a minor key, on the flat 6 chord, we can play a major chord there. Since we're in A, that chord will be called F major in this context. So that's how I'm thinking of it. This is flat 6. Then we're going to E minor. So then we think, how does that relate to the key of A minor? So we can walk up the scale again. A is 1, B is 2, C is flat 3, D is 4, E is 5. So in a minor key, we play a minor chord on the 5 chord. So this is kind of making sense so far relative to my analysis of being an A. So we have flat 6, and then we're going to 5. It's okay that it's inverted. We're just taking one of the notes in the chord and putting it in the bass instead. So we have flat 6 to 5, and then we're going to 1, this A guy. I'm putting a C in the bass. I think that's what's happening in the song either way. And then we get a little bit more movement by that note changing up to its root. That's the gist of it, really. Pretty simple stuff, actually. I think the main takeaways from something like this is for me anyway, I always like to recognize that simplicity pretty much always sounds good. Things don't need to be complicated. So don't be afraid to play simple chords. You can add extra movement to your chord progressions by taking one of the notes in the chord and putting it in the bass and seeing what happens. And try some stuff around. You can get some cool bass walks between chords instead of just chunking chords around the whole time, which is fine too, of course. This next song is called Jocelyn Flores. Chords, F minor 7, A flat major 7, C minor 9, G minor 7. These are the exact voicings, actually. I'm mainly a guitar player, so I was able to figure that out because these are guitar chords that I took, translated to MIDI. So what do we do first? We find the key. How do we find the key? You know, usually I talk about listening to the chord that sounds most like home, but there are other ways to do it. We can deduce it, basically. So let's take a look at what chords we have here and make sense of it. So we have an F chord, we have an F minor chord, we have a G minor chord, we have an A flat major chord, and we have a C minor chord. I'm just taking the basic triadic harmony, no extensions, and just thinking about them relative to triads. So then we can ask ourselves a few questions and look for patterns, basically. First question is, when in a key do two minor chords appear next to each other, a whole step apart? Because that's what we have happening here, right? We have F minor, and we also have G minor right next to each other. So there's basically two places this happens. In a major key, if I was playing in the key of C, so C major, D minor, E minor. So there it is, right? Because D minor and E minor happen next to each other. There's only one place that happens, actually. It doesn't happen anywhere else. If I continue, so C is 1, D minor is 2, E minor is 3, F is 4, G is 5, so G, F major and G major, A minor is 6, and then B diminished is 7. And we're back to C again. So there's only one time in a major key where two minor chords happen to be next to each other a whole step apart. It also happens in the relative minor key. So now we're thinking in A minor. Where do these chords occur? So if we're in A minor, this is 1, B diminished is 2, C is flat 3, no minor chords yet. D is 4, and D minor is 4, and E minor is 5. So there it is. Between the 4 and the 5 chord in a minor key is where the two minor chords happen right next to each other, basically. So we can use that information to basically deduce that we're in the key of C, because C is 1. If C is 1, I should say, F would be 4 and G would be 5. And that's what's happening in the track, right? We have F minor going to G minor. Furthermore, I think we can, if you guys actually play this progression, which I recommend doing on the keyboard or guitar, really listen to it. This is the whole point behind the videos that I do, is really listening to what's going on and trying to give language to what we're listening to and what we can hear. Then you can start getting used to what a major 7th chord sounds like. Maybe even what the 4 chord sounds like, or what the flat 6 chord sounds like, this type of thing. This last track is called Sad. The sad chords: C minor add 9, A flat major 7, F minor 9, to E flat major 7. First inversion, so its third is in the bass here. And then we're going back home again up to C. I just told you guys, we're going home, so I kind of said, the key is C. But pause the video when you get a chance, play the progression, it's not that hard to play, and really listen to the chords and try to tell when that C chord is hit, try to feel that it feels like home, The better you can develop this sense of what the key center is, the easier all chord progressions are basically to understand and create and so on. So if C is 1, how do we make sense of the other chords? Well, C is 1. What is A flat? Let's walk up the scale. So C, D is 2, E flat is 3, F is 4, G is 5, A flat is 6. So in the last song we did, it also had a flat 6 chord, and this is where we put major chords. So it makes sense so far. We're playing a major chord on the flat 6 of the key. Then we're going down to F. So what is that relative to the key center of C? We walk up the scale. C is 1, D is 2, E is flat 3, F is 4. And this is where minor chords go in a minor key, is on the 4. One place they go. So this makes sense so far. 1, flat 6, 4. This last chord is a little bit tricky to understand, perhaps. It's a major 7th chord built off of E flat, but we're just taking the notes out of E flat and taking its third and putting that note in the bass instead. So here's E flat major 7, just root position. I'll put an E flat down low. Now I'm going to take its third and put that in the bass. A little bit different, a little bit darker. And that's what's being used in the song. Let's do a key change with this one as well. So let's translate this to the key of A minor. What are the chords? 1, flat 6, 4, flat 3 first inversion. So what's the 1 chord in the key of A minor? Well, it would be A minor. But we're also adding an extension on this, just like in the track. We want to put the 9 on the A minor chord. So the 9 is like taking the second note of that chord and adding it back to it. So think about what note that would be for a second. It'll be B. So A minor 9. What was the next chord? Flat 6. What is flat 6 of A minor? Let's walk up. A, B is 2, C is flat 3, D is 4, E is 5, F is flat 6. So we want to play an F major 7th chord. Play that like this. Next we had 4 minor 9. What's cool about this is that we can actually keep the upper chord and then just move the bass note down to its 4 and it'll be a minor 9 chord. So another way of thinking about this is you can play the flat 6 major 7 chord, put the 4th degree underneath it, and it'll create a minor 9 chord. So this major 7th chord is a huge piece of a minor 9 chord. So just think about that a little bit. They're a little bit similar, aren't they? And last we had the flat 3 chord. So what is flat 3 of A? Well, A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, and we were playing a major 7th chord here. But it was first inversion, which means that we're going to put the 3rd in the bass, which would be the note E. So we're going to play E underneath the C major 7th chord. So this is like playing the same progression in another key. And again, I want to drill home this point of know what the key center is. Think in terms of intervals. The more you can develop this sense, the easier it is to jump into any key, like I'm trying to demonstrate with these videos. All right, that's a wrap. Thanks for watching. It was a lot of fun to figure out these chords. Kind of tricky, actually. Some of them took me a long time, but it just takes the time it takes. And if you're interested in transcribing on your own, don't be afraid to just sit there. If it takes you an hour to figure out a song, that's completely fine. But you won't regret the time that you spend developing your ear. So I would definitely recommend trying to do this on your own, whatever song it could be. Questions or comments, you guys can let me know below and I'll get back to you there. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. If you want to get the chords in this tutorial for free, you can download the Unison YouTube MIDI chord progression pack via the link in the description.